Alright, my great geometry people. Hopefully you've had a chance to grade your assignment from yesterday and put that up for me. I'll be able to get that information tonight when I check my emails and stuff. Well, what I'm going to do today is we're going to talk about lesson 15 on polygons. Okay, so this is your intro to polygons. You know that a polygon is a many-side shape. So a polygon is a closed figure that's formed in line segments. So in other words, that's a polygon. But if you had it like that, that is not a polygon because it has to be a closed shape. So it has to go all the way around and close it. So you'd have different ways of doing those. We have regular polygons. So if you have a regular polygon, that means that it's the closed shape, but all of the angles and the sides are the same. So one of the most ones that we've used, if I can draw it here, that one is a octagon. It's got 8 sides. All of them should be the same. So, and remember, if you're drawing it, if you can't draw it specifically on there yet, if you put the little hatch marks on it, we know that it's the same. Same way with the angles. I'm going to mark them like that. Oops, I missed one. So on this one you can see you have it 8 sides. All the angles and sides are equal. So what is an 8-sided shape? That's an octagon. And this one is a regular one because all of them are the same. So they have equal lateral and equal angular. So there's, I've got this type of shape. If I have it like that, marking that I've got the sides. So this one is equal angular, but not, equal lateral, because it's on the sides, but not equal angular. Then there's those that just have, let's see if I can put this one. Yeah. So if I can go through and just have the angles that are the same, but these might be longer or shorter on it. So this one is equal angular, equal lateral, both together is called regular. Now I want you to and also an irregular one doesn't have any sides that are the same and has no angles that are the same. So look on the chart on page 90. Here you'll see the names of the polygons, and they drew them all nicely on there, and I'm not going to try and draw them up on here because I don't draw all that very well. Okay, so looking at 90, you'd have, what's the one if you have 3 sides? That is a triangle. 4 sides is a quadrilateral. 5 sides is a pentagon. 6 is called a hexagon. 7, don't usually use it, I think it's a septagon, but going through on the names, I want you to know the triangle, the quadrilateral, let's see, triangle, quadrilateral, 4, 5, pentagon, hexagon, octagon. The other ones on there, you should be able to recognize those, but you don't have to memorize them as much. And if you notice the picture, when we had this one, as it gets to the 9, 10, what does it look like the shape is approaching? It gets closer and closer to being a circle. But polygon has to have each of the sides with points. So when it gets to be a circle, it's not a polygon anymore because it's a circle. So the larger the number of sides of a regular polygon, the more it approaches that circle. Now we're going to have some added things under it because now we have a diagonal. Okay, I'm going to draw. Okay, my rendition of pentagon. These here are the vertices. Now you can draw from one vertice to another one a diagonal. So here we have a diagonal that goes to there and a diagonal goes to there. So from this point here, you have 2 diagonals. Come over here, if we draw from this one, there's a diagonal and there's a diagonal. Okay, then from this point, we already got this one, but we can go across over there. And a pentagon, when you do the diagonals, you do get a star inside. So how many total diagonals are there? Well, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4. That one's already counted. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's this one over here. So there are 5. Because there's this one, that, those 2, and that one's coming down. This one's already being used, and that one's that. So on this one case, there are 5 diagonals. If we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you do a 6-sided one. So you draw on yours, draw on your paper a hexagon. Okay, I'm going to give you something. You draw all the diagonals from. So draw all of them from, start with 1 point, and it's got to go. This one you can't use because it's already one of the sides, so you're looking at the inside of it. So draw all the diagonals that you can. We'll look around and see how well you're doing. And then count them up. How many are there? So we're going, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, I'm going to go to this one, 4, 5, 6, let's see, you got this one, 6, 7 goes across over to there, 7, 8, let's see, 1, 2, 3, oh, there's 1, and there's 9. So this one has 9 diagonals. And the way I check, this one has 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 from each point, but some of them, like this one, goes from here to here, and that, so you can only count it once. So that's why we won't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 3. So there's not 18, there's only 9. Now, this figure right here, all of those diagonals were on the inside. That is, it's a convex. So that's convex shape. If you had it so that we had, let's see, I'm going to draw one. An L shape is usually pretty good. So that's still a hexagon. But in this case, it's not going all the way around on the outside. So this one is a concave. So if you can have one side that's pressed in, that's concave. Now looking at this one, if you notice, I can still draw the same amount of diagonals. Those diagonals are inside. But if you're going on this one, we go to that. This one's going to go outside to that one. And I got to get all the way to over there. This one would go outside too. And this one's outside. So the diagonals are within the, so some of them are within the shape and some are crossing outside. So a concave then has a pushed in part on it. Convex, they're all going around, getting closer to a circle. Let me change my page here. Okay. Last type of thing to go over. All right. Okay, I've got angle 1. This one is angle 2. Over here is angle 3 and angle 4. Just by looking at the shape, this, of course, the shape is this part right here. So which angles are inside, which would be called interior angles, and which ones are exterior or outside? So interior and exterior. So of the angles that are inside the shape, that's 2 and 4. The ones are, if this is my regular shape here, so the outside ones would be 1 and 3. So we have interior and exterior. Then also, going through, we have patterns on the things. So if you notice on quilts and things, or the tessellations, those are patterns. So a lot of them are different shapes. You can have a triangle and some other shapes, you know, if you can put it together. We did that, I think, last year when we were doing a tessellation. So, let's see. I think I went through all of those. I did that part. Yep, got everything down there. So I'm not going to have you memorize the chart that's on page 90, but use that on today when you're going through your assignment. You're going to go through and do page 92 to 95, A through G, and yes, you're going to do all of them today, so 1 through 30, and they do go pretty fast. Any questions? So we have, and then, let's see. I think on mine when you were grading the things so that you have the different parts, so I did write out everything on those. And going through, if you had, this would be a regular pentagon, kind of close to that. But then you also have, you know, the pentagons can be all sorts of different things. So this one's not regular, that one is regular. If you mark that you have the angles all the same. Here you got an acute one. Oh, that one looks like two big obtuse ones. And that one looks like two right ones. So not all pentagons have the same angles inside. And of course this one definitely doesn't have all the same sides equal. So you have the rest of the period now to work on your assignment. You'll have, the sub will also have the page. I am going to put it up on the classroom that you can grade it afterwards, but I do expect that you don't go through and just copy answers. So if it will help you, go ahead and use that. Okay, and have a good weekend.